Gil Martin here. The Locked On Road to the NHL Trade Deadline continues as we have a deal between the Nashville Predators and the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers get defenseman Mattias Ekholm and a sixth-round pick in 2023 from the Predators in exchange for defenseman Tyson Barrie, a first-round pick in 2023, a fourth-round pick in 2024, and forward Reid Schaefer, who is a prospect. Joining us right now, the co-host of Locked On Predators, Nick Morgan. And Nick, your initial thoughts about this move?
Yeah, Gil, long time no see. It's been a hard 24 hours without seeing your face from the last time we did this. Mattias Ekholm, it seemed like his time was kind of running out in Nashville. We heard really all the way back in October that there might be some whispers that they would kick him around at the trade deadline. And Edmonton has always been that team that made sense for a deal. They have been desperate for a defenseman like Mattias Ekholm for quite some time now. Just a rugged stay-at-home defenseman that does a lot of things well, something the Oilers, quite frankly, don't have. And at the end of the day, the Predators got what their asking price was. They wanted 2 first-round picks. They get the actual first-round pick this year, and they get Reid Schaefer, who was the Oilers' first-rounder last year. And then Tyson Barrie, who it's going to be interesting to see what the Preds do with him. So, the Preds kind of, met their price for what they wanted out of Mattias Ekholm.
As far as Tyson Barrie is concerned, where do you see him potentially fitting into the lineup?
I'm not quite sure I do. I kind of think he might be another trade chip. He's a guy that has 1 year left on his contract. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent after next year. I don't know if the Preds are going to immediately try to flip him at this deadline or not. But if they don't, and he winds up staying on the team for another year, he's basically a very solid right-shotted defenseman, somebody who can move the puck very well from that side of the ice. They're going to trade Dante Fabro, so you lose one of your guys on the right side. This is somebody, assuming they don't trade him also, somebody that might pair with Ryan McDonough, 2 kind of contrasting styles that might come together to form some chemistry. That might be a pairing to watch moving forward, but it seems like unless Tyson Barrie just absolutely lights it up and becomes the next year's edition of Erik Karlsson, I'd say he's probably more of an extra piece for David Poile and or Barry Trotz to now play with.
As far as Reid Schaefer is concerned, you mentioned you wanted 2 number 1 picks. You get an actual pick and then a player who was a first-round pick last year. What are the skills that Reid Schaefer brings to the table, and roughly how far away do you think he is from making an impact in the NHL?
Well, he's a big boy. He's a big 6'3" body, a bruising winger, somebody that really fits the style of what the Nashville Predators like to do. That being said, he's also a work in progress. He has had kind of a, not bad year, but a little bit down year in the WHL from what a lot of people thought he might be at this year. He, of course, made the Canada World Junior team and kind of underwhelmed a little bit playing for Canada this year. But again, he's somebody who's +1 out of his draft year. He's going to need some seasoning. He's going to need time to kind of fill in to his role as a physical player. I would say he's probably, somebody that's going to be on the slow burner. I'd expect he's going to be back in juniors next year, and then probably, needs a year in Milwaukee after that. But I do think he's a good prospect. I think he's somebody that fits what the Predators like to do, which is have your wings drive that physical level of play that's kind of become a trademark for Nashville, especially with Barry Trotz back in the helm, the guy who kind of created that initial Predators identity. So I think Schaefer's going to fit in if he keeps developing. He's just don't expect to see him lacing up the skates at Bridgestone Arena anytime soon.
You mentioned that there could be other moves coming. What do you think that Poile and Trotz are looking to do between now and Friday at 3:00 Eastern time?
Well, this is like when you clean out your closet and you go to, first off, you have two piles. One, you try to sell everything at Plato's Closet, get what you can, try to get some money for those shirts you don't wear. And then anything that's left over, you just donate it to Goodwill or something like that. The Predators seem to be at the Plato's Closet. They are just lumping their team out to the rest of the NHL and saying, if you want any of these guys, make us an offer and we'll talk. And I think that's kind of what the Predators are doing right now. I think anybody that's not named Roman Josi, Philip Forsberg, or UC Saros is going to be available for the right price. I still think Dante Fabro is somebody who is, I would be shocked if he's still on the Predators roster come Friday afternoon. Mikhail Granlund, that's another person that can help a lot of teams right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see his name float out there either. And then, never say never. If somebody really wants to make a Matt Duchene trade, I don't see that happening at the deadline. I think that might be more of a summer move. But, the Preds are going to try to do everything they can to move as many pieces as they can.
Well, it should be interesting, and be sure to check out Locked On Predators for more on this deal and any other deals that the Preds make between now and the trade deadline. And keep it dialed into Locked On NHL all along the road to the NHL trade deadline. This is the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.